And as I started walking across the road, all of a sudden, I was on the side of the road.
Welcome to Sketch My Story. Today, Chuck Bone is drawing the illustrations, and our awesome guest is Simon Miller, and this is his story.
Now, we do have to go back to when I was a young child, but 13 years old, and my parents decided to take me out to the high school I was in, really, because the one I was going to was a little bit rough, a little bit ready, and they weren't happy with that, and somebody had actually chased me with nunchucks. Now, but they weren't coming after me. Somebody had basically broken in the school, and they had run through the corridors, clocked eyes with me, and thought, well, I was bored at that time, but we'll call me a bored a-hole. I'm going to nunchuck that guy right in the face. And I had to run away into the headmaster's office, no joke. And when the headmaster rang my parents and told them this, they're like, right, that's it, you're done, you're out, we're going to find somewhere else. So fast forward to the last day of me being in school, and it was raining. It was just, I decided I'm writing a poem, but it's true, it's raining, it was dark, it was miserable outside, and my mum would come to pick me up. Obviously I was a young boy, she wanted me to walk home in the rain, and I was like, no mum, I want to walk home with my friends. It was around about a 15-minute walk, because this may be the last time I ever get to see them, right? I was moving to a different school, and while I was going to be living in the same area, you just don't know. So my mum was a little bit fed up, but I think eventually she thought, okay, I can't be bothered to argue with you. It's raining, it's wet, it's miserable, it's drizzling. You walk home, and we'll leave it there. So I was able to walk home with my friend. It was nice. I remember there was Ian Brunton. I haven't talked to Ian Brunton in 20 years, but I still remember his name. When I got to the crossing, it was about 2 minutes from my house. So I waited for the green man to come out, the green light to say, it's your turn to go. And as I started walking across the road, all of a sudden, I was on the side of the road. And I had no idea what happened. I had no recollection of it. I had no... it was just like a flash. And all of a sudden, I was on the side of the road. It's incredible pain in the side of my body. And what had happened is, hit and run. I've been hit and run, basically. I don't know, it was a drunk driver. It was Christmas time. It was December. I'd been hit, and they'd mounted the curb, and they'd just driven off. And they'd hit me with so much force, my shoes had even come off my feet. Now, Ian Brunton always used to tell me, apparently I did a 360. I don't think that's true. I think he's exaggerating because he was a child. But yeah, I landed, and a man, still remember his name today, because it was named after a football player over here. It wasn't him, obviously, just the same name. A man called Mark Hughes came and checked on me, and because I was so like, I can't believe it, I said I was fine. And I must have been quite convincing because everyone believed me. So I walked a few minutes to the rest of my house. Again, I was bruised. Thankfully, nothing was broken. But of course, my mum answered the door, and the first thing I said to her was, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this, I got hit by a car. She thinks I'm lying. She thinks I've gone into child mode, and I'm like, if I make up a sad story, she won't yell at me for refusing the ride. So she sent me to my room. There I lay, took my top off, bruising all down the left side of my body. And eventually she heard my moaning and groaning. She came in. She still feels guilty about it to this day. She took me to the hospital. Everything was fine. As it turned out, I was very lucky. I remember the doctor saying to me, you're like Superman, you should have broken a bone. But I didn't. And like I say, here we are 20 years on. She still feels terribly guilty about that. It's a story that no one ever believes, but it's true.
Judging from that story, Simon was bound to be an athlete. And we've got more athletic feats, and I bet you haven't seen a university basketball coach quite like this. And Simon's got great fitness tips and reaction videos. To see more from him, click here. Thanks for coming to Sketch My Story, Simon.